Welcome to Jerking Around, where Teisha talks about jerking.
Crystal talks about college. How many has she jerked around?
Oh my God.
Talking about Snapchat, kids. What else did we do? I felt like we talked about good stuff today.
Yeah, sex life, yours. Yeah. No, we talked about good stuff. What was the real stuff?
Sports.
Yes.
Oh, that was
Kids
it.
in sports, juggling it all.
And how whacked the culture is of
Yeah,
sports.
and marriage. We talked about marriage. We always talk about marriage. It's our passion. Mm-hmm. Stay married.
Listen up.
Squeezers.
Squeezers, yeah. Do I say anything?
Oh my God, we're just being normal.
Oh, jerking around.
Do you want to get your headphones? We'll nail
Crystal takes her shirt off. Stick around. Should we say it at the same time?
it. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Jerking Around. A podcast with Teisha and Crystal. Maybe we're meant to be on video.
I'm loving the shoes, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. I got them first.
I'm all. Or not, but
I already
it's
told
fine.
her.
I'm just kidding.
Do you feel like they're a little big? Like
No,
at
did you
first?
go up a size?
No. Did you?
Yours aren't new.
The other ones.
Yeah.
These are Hudson's.
Yeah, I was going to say, those aren't the...
The platform one.
Did
Yeah.
you think I just lied to you or didn't know they weren't right?
Yeah,
Kind of.
kind of. I like the boards. They're cute.
Yeah, I think so too.
I feel like, you know when you have to like calm down?
Yeah. Welcome to Jerking Around.
Welcome to Jerking Around.
So what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What do you feel like talking about today?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think what good things have happened.
Or bad.
Yeah.
No,
Well, you had that thing happen with you and Ben.
Yeah.
That.
And you
know,
had that
Shut up. Don't go
that
there.
sore. Open pussy sore.
Disgusting. Okay. Brown thumb, we'll just call it.
Oh.
For you. Have we told it? Oh, we're not going to tell that Dirty Sanchez story.
Oh, no, that's horrible.
Teisha was chanting that on the bus once in college.
Yeah.
Is it too close to your ears, this? That's wrong, Teisha. I want to talk about so many things that we're not allowed to talk about in the podcast.
I know. Should we talk about them, but just
No.
change the names and...
No. Let's talk about the Kyle Richards things I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah.
So I rewatched the first season of Housewives. I know, it's embarrassing. At night, it's like I want to fall asleep and I don't want to read.
Yeah.
And I don't really care. Like I just want it playing.
Yeah.
So like Summer House, I would have to like,
Pay attention.
yeah, but Old Housewives, like I don't care. So
Beverly Hills?
yeah,
Okay.
so season 1. And did you watch Housewives back then?
Yes.
So it's when the psychic talks to Kyle, which is so interesting now. And it tells her, I watched it again because it was like this end of it.
Yeah.
And it was like, he will never emotionally fulfill you. And it says that she goes, oh, is this your second marriage? She goes, yeah, okay, you won't get remarried, which would make sense. But he will never emotionally fulfill you. She said, you'll last till the kids are older, then it will, like, he won't be enough for you, which is like exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And she said, be careful with the women relationships in your life. Something will change.
Yeah, which is that weird?
Because no one's like noticed that because they didn't like watch it. They've played those clips, but the women part is crazy. She goes, what do you mean? I'm a girl's girl. I have all friends. They go, it's going to change. She's thinking like,
Friends.
Like friends.
like
yeah.
she's going to fight with friends or not have as many girlfriends around.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's that she's going to be a girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy, huh?
That's crazy.
I know. It's
I feel like sometimes those psychics are on. Like, but I don't really feel like that's like a...
I know, of God.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm weird
kind
about
of,
that.
Was it self-fulfilled too? Like that's the other question is, was that always in the back of her head and now
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
Totally. But the women relationships,
I know.
all I keep hearing in my head is box, you know?
Box.
Like,
Oh, like... oh, box.
let
I
me
haven't
reiterate.
heard that term
We
in a minute.
support all lesbians. But I just don't, I'm not into it myself. Like, I could never do it.
I just haven't heard the term box in a while. You know?
Really?
No. That's
Oh,
not...
Kyle says box all the time.
He does.
I'm not
He
gonna
does
say
have a
what
lot
he says,
of...
but
He
he
has a
says
lot
box.
of term squeezer, you
Yeah,
know?
he's into squeezer lately. He heard it on KUPD.
Melissa was like, what's a squeezer? I'm like, a handy, you know? Like...
yeah, and who does squeezers?
Yeah, like...
Past
And
50.
I feel like squeezer, you're like... You know? Like, I feel like...
Aggressive.
Do you want
Yeah.
to say what you used to do when you and Ben watched TV? She used to just hold it. I swear.
In your hand.
Yes, in just one hand and watch TV. I think it made her feel secure.
going. No.
Why though?
To remind him.
No.
For real though, I'm sure he loved
I
it.
could just
You like to
crush
squeeze
it in my hand.
Yeah, like squeeze it. No,
No,
it reminds me
it
of
was
those things.
No.
You know those things when you want to squeeze them? Sometimes you do want it when it's not all the way you want to like squeeze
Yeah, like
it.
I used to squeeze my dog's cheeks because they were so cute. No, when we were first married, before kids.
It's not the same.
We didn't have any kids, so like we'd be like watching a show or something, and I'd like give it a little squeezer, I guess, you know. And so now we can't do that because there's kids everywhere, and it'd be really weird. And now I don't.
Why is mom's hand in Dutch dance again?
And now I don't want to do it because we've been married a long time, and I'm all that old thing again, you know. Back then I was like, oh, I like it. Now I'm all, get that thing out of here, you know. Oh, that's so funny.
Do you think your blank life has gotten better or worse in years of marriage?
Better, maybe? I don't know. What do you mean by better? Like more frequent or like more enjoyable?
Both. What do you think?
I think everything has gotten better with age. Like the whole relationship. So I feel
Even
like,
the box?
So I feel like it's better.
Why
it's
though?
The same. I would say that
I don't
part's
think it's the same. I'm not in the bedroom with you, but I feel like it's evolved. I think you've evolved. Like there was a
I'm all, are you?
No, there was a period of time where it was like corpsing.
Corpsies.
I feel like it sounds like it's way less corpsies, more involvesies.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like maybe at the beginning it was more exciting, you know?
Yeah.
When
well,
you're first
I think
together.
it's like don't eat the cheeseburger. I'm gonna devour that cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Like when you're not, that's why I think you are supposed to wait till you're married. Because like that beginning part is where you can't wait to get it in there.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not like that now.
Yeah, like it's different. And I think like people that have been married and only been with one person, I do think that was the beginning of their marriage or the beginning of their relationship. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. But like
that great, yeah.
that like you can't go to bed without it.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
it's not that now. I'm all, like the show's ending soon, so I'm all, like, you know, like faking. Like, you know, like I'm watching the show, he's all, you into it? I'm like, yeah, and then I see and I'm all, oh.
You see the...
So then I'm all, oh, what happened at the end, you know? And I was like fully awake.
Kyle kind of likes when I'm half asleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's not
and I don't
disturbed
mind
by
it either. You know, like once I woke up and I was like, oh, we're doing it. I swear, it's like, because you're so relaxed, it's like, I don't really care what's going on.
Well, mine will be like, who's taking the dog out? And then I was like, well, if you take him out, we can play, you know?
Wouldn't you rather just take the dog out real quick?
No, I don't want to
Well,
get
because
up.
tell him what you make him do.
What?
Married?
This is very graphic.
She's like, I can let you do it, but you have to, in your hand.
Clean up your own mess.
Not in your hand.
Okay, in my
No, just somewhere, but not where I'm having to go do the drip drip for an hour. This is so graphic. I can't. I'm done with this. Sometimes, yeah, no.
Get graphic pretty fast.
I'm crying, it's so funny. But it's so true.
I hate the drip drip.
Yeah, turn the fan on, Dana.
How do I do that?
That one,
I
yeah.
wore a sweatshirt because I knew it was going to be freezing.
No, the drip drip is something like when God created it all. You know, when you're little and you watch TV and they like have a cigarette after and they're like laying there on each other's chest. I'm like, that's so not it. Like it's all 1, 2, 3, move, run.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the most not natural, beautiful thing.
The end.
Oh, you got it. Oh, weird.
Oh, no.
It's like not working. They were talking about the fan, everybody. Teisha probably turned it off when we weren't looking because she hates it. Here it comes, Dana. I got it.
You got it?
The remote was off. We did that the other day because I think we were cold.
Okay.
But it's not like the ending isn't that beautiful.
Yeah. It's,
So like, how do people do it on a one night stand? They're like, okay, I'm gonna get up real quick. It's awkward.
Yeah.
Run to the bathroom, make a mess. It's just weird.
yeah.
It's the only thing God kind of did a little different.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
like
know?
that part's definitely, well,
Not
again, that's
beautiful.
why it's important you're with your husband, because then it's like,
It's just
you're
weird.
comfortable to be like, get it, you know, grab me a towel or whatever, you know? But like, if it was a random, it's a little like, you know?
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. How was it when you were with all the randoms?
No, shut up. I was not. Okay. No, but I do think I would think it gets better
I think everything gets better.
because you get like more comfortable with what exactly you like and what Like, you have a rhythm.
Yeah, and I think you're like, again, when you're so busy with kids and other things, like I feel like then it's like you appreciate the coming together more than
Literally coming together.
Then when you're first married and it's just you guys, it's like
That's the most literal
it's
thing
not
you've
as
ever
exciting
said.
because you can have it whenever. But now it's like more like enjoyable because it's like our time away from the kid. You know what I mean? I feel like it's more appreciated now.
Yeah.
Whereas in the beginning, when it's just you guys, it's not as appreciated.
Do you guys still do sprays?
Crystal calls it the fire hose, you know, and Kyle just. Oh boy. We're gonna have to cut so much of this. So much editing is
I
happening.
just felt like being silly one day. you
Yeah,
know?
I know.
We've been more serious lately, and I just don't want to talk about it. Oh, blah, blah, you know. I don't want to do all that today.
No, people are always like, how's Crystal? To me.
No, it's so embarrassing.
I
know.
had coffee with Sherry the other day, and she's all, now how's Crystal? Like,
Oh my
she's
gosh.
so worried
This
about
is
you.
so
I'm all,
embarrassing.
oh, she's fine. They probably think I'm insensitive. I'm all,
No,
oh
I
yeah,
know.
that's
People want to
normal.
talk to me about it. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
weird. I didn't really, like, I meant it, but it's like me and you. I forget, like, I'm not saying it for people. I'm saying,
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, with Sherry, though, I forgot to tell you. I went to the coffee shop after the walkthrough yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, Teisha felt so bad about forgetting about you the other day. Oh, it was so awkward. I wanted to die. She's like, forgetting about me. I'm all, yeah, we were in the meeting. She was texting you. Sorry, I forgot. I'm like, she felt so bad. She's like, forget about me. No, I met with her. I'm like, oh, you did?
Yeah.
You met with her yesterday, did you? She's like, yeah, did she forget? And I'm like, I think she did, but I'm glad you guys got to get together.
So we had texted and made a plan.
It was so awkward.
And
I was
then
all, well, she was texting in the meeting, and I yelled at her for it. Then later she told me how to text Sherry. So I thought you canceled on Sherry.
No, I was like, yes, we're good. But that's why I had to text because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I forgot. So we had made a plan to meet, but then we didn't talk about it. And then I just forgot in the haze of everything. So we're in the meeting, and then she texted me, and I was, are we still on for today? And I was like, and Crystal doesn't like when we're texting and meeting, obviously. Yeah. And so I was like texting her back, like, shoot, yes. But I wanted her to know that's why I was texting. Because it was like.
And she thought you were canceling.
Well, because I didn't tell her, and then we ended up meeting.
so
I
embarrassing.
just told her that's why I was
Sherry.
texting. That's
She's like, oh,
so
did
funny.
she forget? And I was like, yeah, I think she did. But I'm glad you guys got together. I love Sherry, though. She's like, no problem.
She's the best.
Yeah.
No, she was like, how's Crystal? And I was like,
I hate that.
oh, that's normal. Like, she's okay. You know, like, because she's I know. But, like, I didn't mean normal. Like, I know. Like,
that's the hard thing.
Yeah,
like,
like-
if ever I showed on staging the other day and I wasn't happy. Because
Yeah.
I'm really not happy about it. It's like you get in trouble for being too positive on your post, then you get in trouble for being too negative.
It's hard.
It's like, it's not that fun to unstage in the heat. It's not. Someone said, cheer up. And I was like, cheer up? You come carry this couch and tell me to cheer up. It's not that fun.
someone said cheer up.
Oh yeah, like why? Like a whole thing. And I was like,
Stop.
I was so annoyed. I was like, no, it makes me want to. I said something back. Makes me want to like do something. It's not fun. You come lift a couch.
Well, I think it's important when you're just being yourself.
Oh, I'm just myself.
You know, like, I'm not always cheery, you know?
Yeah,
Oh, that's so funny.
No,
Cheer
it's
up
just
is
like,
so
oh,
funny.
it's so awful. I was like, you cheer up.
Even
you come carry this.
even if someone wasn't happy and I was on there, I would never message him to cheer up.
Oh, it was like
I might think it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Charlie.
Totally.
Oh yeah, I know.
I send things all the time. And then we found out that they can see when we send them, and I was like, well, this is awful.
It didn't stop you though.
Well, no, they can only see a preview if we write. We figured out a way around it.
Anyways, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I just was showing that I just feel like I'm with my friends here. So I forget people are listening. So I'm just telling you what's going on in my day. Every day.
Yeah.
I'm kind of telling you that, but that's it. I was listening and I was like, wow.
She was listening, getting something out of it.
Yeah, I got so much out of it. Because I don't remember when we're talking. I just feel like we're talking. But
And
when I
she's-
listen, like, that's a good idea. And I go, it's so relatable. She goes, yeah, because it's you.
She goes, I really relate to the person. And I'm all, yeah, yourself. I'm all, that girl on that podcast is just like me. She's unemotional. And it's me, you know?
I really see myself in this story.
Yeah, she's all, it's so relatable. I'm like, well, yeah, it's you. Of course it's relatable. Like, she's a realtor and a mom. She owns her own business. She's married. She's, you know, like, it's so funny. And she's a coach. It's you. We were laughing so hard about it.
So funny.
No,
I was listening to me
really
talk about my boyfriend doing shrooms, and I wanted to just die. I was like, what an idiot this girl is. Because you kind of forget it's you. And I'm like, idiot, staying with this guy. And I'm all, wait a minute, that was me. And it's like, I was crying because I'm like, what an idiot.
No, we were laughing about it so hard.
And I was like, it's really relatable. She goes, well, yeah, because it's you. You know? But like, I was pretending it wasn't me, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, as the listener, what am I hearing?
I didn't think it's what it is because I don't remember our conversations.
I haven't listened. I think
so
I've
when people
listened to
like tell me about it, I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, they're like, yeah. So
I never do.
I'm like, what happened with Shirley? Like, I don't remember it. So listening to it, I was like, oh wow, we really. And I haven't thought I've been that open. And then I listened to it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I said all that. Like, it's so embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. It's just hard to be that real.
Yeah.
So it's like embarrassing that everyone heard that.
Well, I think what people don't understand is like, I really feel like it's just the three of us.
Yeah. Just
And
like at a girls' dinner.
I forget that this is like really going out into the world.
Going live.
You know?
To the jerkies.
Some jerkies have really encouraged the live event, you know? I feel like it would be boring though.
No, I know, but those are feels. Danae and I just talked about doing it. We're doing it.
Oh, when I was in there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're doing it. We're going to post that date by the end of next week.
Well, she really sets a hard. She does this at work too, and it's like, oh God, it's real.
Let me put that in my notes.
I'm all.
No, we're gonna do it. The jerkies have really carried us. We've been down. We got in trouble. Then we did the apology. Then everyone's like, "Why are you apologizing? Don't stop telling those stories." So we're telling the stories again. But then they picked us up when we were down. We were thinking it's stupid, and then everyone's like, "Please don't stop."
Yeah, I was ready to be done. I'm like, this is dumb. I told Sherry that. I was like, because she's like, how's the podcast? I'm like, I don't know if we're doing it right. I don't know.
And what'd she say?
Well, I told her about the negative, you know, and I was like, it's hard to know. She was like, you know, it's not, you'll never be for everybody.
Yeah.
And that was a good takeaway.
The thing is, not to be like we have an audience, but the people that do listen, they're very loyal listeners. So they've heard it all. I think it's just like maybe it's not for new people. And we're fine with that.
And I think is with anything in life, if you don't agree with it or like it, then just don't listen. Yeah. You know? Because there's things that I don't agree with or like in life, and I just don't partake, you know? So, but I think it's important to be, we don't want to ever hurt anybody. That's where I felt bad.
Yeah, the intention is not to hurt.
Never. But yeah, maybe it's not for everybody, you know?
I don't think we're for everybody. I mean, you were for everybody in college, but
yeah, you're for every guy, but
no,
you know?
I don't think we are for everybody, but anyways, let's tell more stories.
Yeah.
I'm into the laughing because that was fun.
I know. I feel like something.
No, but I did think the podcast with Kyle's always telling me, you even said in the podcast you were going to not. And I'm like, what did I say? What the heck?
Oh, like you're going to be nicer to me.
Yeah.
You know?
I forget the things we say we're going to do.
How are the date nights going?
Ben doesn't listen, so.
I know. Kyle, the other night we were making fun of each other and we were actually sounding weird, but kind of like you guys. We were like wrestling and he's like, my goal for the week is. It was like so funny.
Yeah.
You know, I was like making fun of him. Yeah. I can't go on vacation.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I was
my
on the
goal
phone
for the
too,
week is.
and we were doing it, the three of us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that's.
Do I need to leave?
No, but it's so funny. They called me on three-way, and then we were like talking, and then we were making fun of each other, and I was all, I have no money.
Yeah, you were on the phone.
I'm not busy, you know, like, because it's made up, you know, and then he was like making fun of us. Like, it was so funny.
Totally.
I forget, what was he saying about me? There's not much to make fun of, so no, I'm just kidding.
So, you know I'm in love with Paige DeSorbo. She's been like a little naughty on her podcast, like a little full of herself. And not like, just kind of, what's great about you isn't what you think is great about you. It's the things that you don't think are great about you that makes it great. Do you know what people like that? Like, she's leaning into this like hardcore, like women only, like, you don't like us, hate us, like, and it's like, nah, I don't like that about you. What I like about you is you are a girl's girl. You do like everybody. You're actually really nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, it just bugs me. On Summer House last night, she was so nice on the episode. Like, her friend was getting jerked around and she was sticking up for her, and I'm like, that's the you I like.
Yeah.
I don't like the whole, like, fashion designer, so cool. Her and Hannah, I wonder if that's what people are about us. Like, I like Crystal without Teisha, but her and Teisha all jerking around, you know?
Maybe.
I wonder if it is like that.
Ask Dana. Dana, do you like us better together or separate?
Well, she doesn't know us separate.
Yeah.
She didn't know me for years.
Hang out a lot. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. It's rude. I get really left out about stuff like that. Like, where are you hating? I'll be there.
Yeah, we weren't. She was kidding.
No, I know. But anyways, I was so annoyed. On the show last week, they were talking about her and Craig, and Danielle says, you give him nothing. And I like totally agreed. I was like, finally. Paige gets away with it. You know, like the leader of the group that no one will say anything to? Mm-hmm. She's totally that. No one will ever say anything to Paige. Paige gets away with anything. And I kind of get it, but Danielle was like drunk and she was like, yeah, and you give Craig nothing. Like, kind of like, I can't believe he stays around.
Yeah.
I'm like, finally. Like, they won't film together hardly, because when they used to film together, they'd fight. And I think Paige doesn't want that out there.
Yeah.
And it's annoying. Like, if you're on reality TV and you're both on Bravo, why aren't you filming together? Yeah. And if you're going to get married.
Well, that's what the people want.
Kyle and Amanda are filming fights every day. Lindsay and Carl, I mean, maybe they're smart because they want to work out. But,
yeah.
you know, but it's annoying. Like, she was like, Craig's in my apartment right now. And you're at the Hamptons. Like, why isn't he with you?
Do you think that people get divorced when they're on reality TV because of the outside? Or do you think it's like they were going to get divorced anyways?
No, it's 100% because I think it's that they get so into the fame that they stop putting each other first.
Yeah.
And I find that most women on The Housewives want to have their own thing. You were a stay-at-home mom when you became the housewife.
Like a housewife, yeah.
Then now you're like, my new design, nail line, my new bra line, my new this line, and then all of a sudden they think they're a big deal and they don't need their husbands anymore. Mm-hmm. That's what I think happens almost every single time.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the husband could also feel threatened by the success and fame
Yeah.
of the...
As soon as Mauricio started doing Buying Beverly Hills, I'm like, they're done. They both have too much of their own thing going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're done. But like when you watch the old episodes, it's just about their little family.
Yeah.
And that's like what matters. Not the fame, not the money, not the things.
I was really sad when they broke up.
I know.
Because like they had such a family. Like their kids, it was like they weren't this separate. You know, like when people in Hollywood get divorced and you're like, you were never together anyways.
Yeah.
It's like stupid, but they really were together.
Well, I think it's such a society problem. That's what bothers me about Paige. She's so into developing her career right now.
Yeah.
That like she doesn't want to get married because she feels like it'll tie her down and make her less like for the girls. That's her big thing is she's for the girls. And I'm like, and so it was so annoying. Kyle and Amanda, they both work for Loverboy. And they went shopping and they were like, I'm having the voice thing. They're like, Amanda, do you have an identity outside of Loverboy? And she's like, well, no, I don't think so. And they're like, yeah, see, you have no of your self identity. She's like, I'm going to cry. It was like so rude. And I was like, she has a business with her husband. What's better than that?
Yeah, like that's...
You all aren't married. You all are single, dicking around. You should want to be Amanda with Loverboy.
And like, it's cool that he wants you in his business and that you want to be in it.
So they're like,
that's
you need to have...
Yeah.
You need to have your own thing, Amanda. You need to be, and Paige is like, I see you as being like, I want to get Amanda to be my graphic designer and this and that. So then in a few episodes, Amanda tells Kyle she wants to leave Loverboy to have her own thing. And I'm like, yeah, the world is so mixed up because you two are lonely and alone. You're like
judging.
You want everyone to
if
misery
someone
loves
happily
company.
married telling me that, I might listen, but not, you know.
Exactly. That's like Kristen Cavalier giving dating advice.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Like, no, Amanda's got it right. You guys have it wrong.
Did you see that thing that came out about him?
Oh, yeah. Well, duh. Look, I mean, it's not normal.
Yeah.
When something's not normal, it's not normal. Whether you spin it 5 ways that he's good looking, this and that.
Yeah.
It's not normal.
It came out that
he's abusive.
He was like, in college, he like beat up some guys with his friends, which I'm like, that's kind of... I'm not saying that's okay, but like I think sometimes in college guys get drunk at a party and act stupid.
Yeah.
Like my college boyfriend was stupid and he got in fights. But
who's that?
What?
Your college boyfriend?
Well, I was in college.
Yeah, but you broke up pretty soon in college, right?
No,
didn't you?
2 years in.
Oh. Yeah.
So, but I'm saying like
I thought it was like freshman year.
No,
because you moved home with him. Yeah. Forgot.
So it was at the end of my second. So anyways, when I went to, even then I went to Cal. Anyways, cut that. So anyways,
take a drink.
But him and his friends would go to parties and get drunk and get in fights. So I don't think that's that weird. I think it shows a sign of his maturity level.
Yeah.
Like, no one is doing that when you're an adult. Like, you have kids, like, if he's gonna have her be the stepdad, like, you're getting in fights. But anyways, so he's, like, banned from his college. And then, didn't he say it was one other thing, too? It was, like, abusive or something?
Yeah, I kept choking that girl.
No.
I don't know.
But it was something like that. Like, I think he's maybe got some violent tendencies.
How long ago was college for him?
Like, 5
Yeah,
minutes
like
ago.
2 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
That's because thinking back,
You're
our
right.
college was a long time ago. And
Right, like now I'm not doing any of the things I did in college. It was a very different time.
Yeah.
But that's normal. But that's why it wasn't that weird.
But
I
Kristen
just
acts
think,
like she's in college. They go to the bars all the time. It's so
or
loser.
like he's trying to act like he's older to be this dad. It's just different.
He's not, though.
No.
She's with him and his friends.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's why, like, my nephew's in college right now, and I love it. Like, go live your life. And my mom was, like, talking about me.
Yeah.
I did it all. We did it all.
Yeah.
I did it all. I mean, not all inappropriate, but, like, I can settle down and never want to go out. Because I felt like I went out so much. We went to Havasu. I didn't do anything weird, but Vegas
Yeah.
in college, like Havasu for spring break, like anything, we did it.
I was living my best life.
Yeah, so now I don't have any will to go out.
Gosh, no. And I was talking to Sherry, and which we've talked about that. It's so important kids go away and like find yourself in those years, you know? Because then I feel like if you don't, you have some of that, like, and it kind of creeps in later in life where
I think it does, too.
you almost are like, I didn't explore
live,
this.
yeah.
I didn't live. And I'm not saying everybody, but I feel like a lot of people that happens.
I agree.
And I think you learn so much when you're not living under your parents' roof and having your parents telling you this and that. I think you just like learn so much about yourself.
I agree. I was going to say something about that, but I forgot. I'm glad I let you know.
Yeah.
Sherry.
Well, she was saying her son went away, and she was like,
It was
yeah.
before that.
It's both their kids went away, but she's like, we're big on that.
I'm big on that too. Kyle's not
too.
so much, but I am. I was going to say something about...
Ben's not either, but he went to Grand Canyon for a year.
So did Kyle.
So-
You know,
I'm not saying that's loser, but
I think it was about hardships of marriage, going out. Oh, the thing that gets posted, I think I reposted it yesterday that I love, and it's such a good reminder that if I realized the things I prayed about 5 years ago I have, or, you know, like, you forget that you're there where you wanted to be. Like, I remember us once, and we talk about this a lot, we were in high school going to the outlet malls.
oh yeah, and
Or college, and we were like, wouldn't it be so cool if, like, we got married, like, we married best friends?
isn't
Like,
that
it's
so
stupid,
funny?
and we totally married best friends.
It's like weird.
It's like weird, and we want to be stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
And we're like, we get to be stay-at-home moms.
we were like shopping at the outlets. Remember?
we're like, what if this was our life? Like, oh.
Yeah.
But now when we're shopping, we're like, get in the car. You
Yeah.
know, like, you forget though, because I think there's this intrinsic thing for Americans, especially, to be successful. That's like even like sometimes when I'm not in the mood to be successful on Instagram, it's like go the extra mile, fight hard, da da da. I'm like, why? Why can't you just be who
Yeah.
you are? And that's enough. Like being a mom and having a husband, our society is so confused on what matters most. Like you were just talking about when your husband walked away from his big job to be home. I've done that. My friend Monica, she laughs when our friends say my friend so and so.
Yeah.
But my friend Monica, her husband worked for, I think she wouldn't care if I said this, but for Amazon from the get-go, like ground up, stock options, big deal. Like before it turned, he made great money, ridiculous money. He had no life. Like they were such a slave to Amazon, like all the holidays. And he had to fire people, he had to do all these hard things. And he's like, it wasn't worth it.
yeah.
And
Like toy like Mike.
Totally.
yeah. And I think in society that's not valued as much as making the money, having the life.
It's not. It's like that's sad though, you know?
Yeah, I was telling Dana and I was talking to you about, I was going through pictures for Maddie for her 8th grade promotion. I want to like make her a book, you know, because it's confusing to remember all these pictures, but going through it all, I haven't gone through some of these pictures in a while because even there's some really good ones of my dad, but I didn't have the to go through all the pictures. Like, I don't know how people do that.
Yeah.
Because I have like pictures of my childhood and there's no way I could have opened those boxes.
Yeah.
I literally went to his face on Google Photos and pulled those pictures and sent them to you and Jen, and I never even looked at them.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't put this in the slideshow. I didn't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
But now I was going through it, and I was remembering the simple life of when our kids were young. And it was such hard times, but it, like, made me sick. Like, I was like, oh, my gosh, who I was then and who I am now. I I had it then, and I didn't know I had it then, and now I became this, and I would do anything to be back to that. I don't know. It was deep, but it was weird. Like, I can tell in my face, like, I wasn't stressed, and I wasn't torn, and I wasn't all these things. I was just present, and there was so many pictures with both families. Like, when you're not busy, you really crave the people that are important in your life.
Yeah.
And I'm in a real phase where I feel like I have made zero time for the people that are important in my life. And I'm disgusted by it. Like, I really am. I can barely talk to my mom for 5 minutes. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, Mom, because my to-do list is so busy in my head that conversation is derailing me, and I need to get this done. I'm like so disgusted with that right now. And like seeing those pictures, like I did so many family trips with my brother's family, with my family, with Kyle's family. And I'm like, I don't do any of that now because I'm so busy. The weekends are so busy. Everything's so busy.
Well, and the kids are busier. I think that's because like Ben's parents and sister are going to Colorado, and we're going up to meet them, and they're going for like a week. They're going for like 10 days, and we're going for 2 days, because that's literally the window that we have that the kids aren't doing sports. Yeah. And it's like whacked, you know? But like, what do? I don't know.
There was a preacher, sometimes those reels in the Facebook and Instagram, those things, like they really have interesting stuff. And this one guy says, I have to do this. I have to do the travel sports. No, you don't. I have to be the volunteer at the school. No, you don't. I have to make this much money. No, you don't. And he kept saying, these are the world's goals for you. This isn't God's goals for you. Yeah. And it's like we do, especially in sports for boys. If you get too cold, let me know. Especially in sports for boys, I feel like, because Kyle and I are debating next season right now, and again, I feel like no one's listening, but at the same time, our whole baseball team could listen right now, and they could find out all kinds of things. But a few years ago, we kept changing sports every like season or 2 seasons, and I felt like Broxton wasn't getting like ahead or like secure because he was always like the first one there, like the new guy at every team. So Kyle and I decided for 2 years, let's try to be consistent with the same 2 teams, and let's see if that changes things. He was playing like 6 games on a weekend because it was 2 club teams. And so we did 1 year of that, and it was okay, but I'm like, he's literally like, he's gonna burn out completely of all sports. So then towards the second part of this year, we just did club baseball because they practice on like Wednesday and Thursday, so it makes it really hard to do another sport.
Because it's either Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday,
So he kept missing one sport every Wednesday. He'd take turns, so he was behind at basketball and getting yelled at. He didn't know the plays, and he's getting yelled at baseball because he's not at practice. So we're like, this is stupid. So we only did baseball this last 6 months. And I don't love it. Like, and now there's so much talk about like Cooperstown for next year and all this planning and like keeping the boys together till high school, which I love. I love all that. But I'm like, I don't want him to hate baseball. When, if this is a sport, like, of course, Kyle hopes that he loves because it's Kyle's favorite sport. Mm-hmm. I just don't want him. I think you become a better athlete by doing other sports.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I love Top Gun, where our girls cheer, because they teach them hard work, discipline, work ethic, integrity, values, faith. Everything I want my kids to get out of life are in this one sport. So I'm okay with them doing this one sport. We've had them do other things. They've gone to dive. They do actually very well. Mm-hmm. I've had Hudson do volleyball. She actually does very well because she's learned the basics of like who to be.
Yeah.
Not what to play, what's your arm, what's your pitch, like if you can train someone to be the best person, they can be good at anything. But if you're just training one sport, your arm, Broxton already does this. He doesn't even pitch like a ton of innings in a row. And I'm like, this is stupid. Yeah. But those stupid videos on Instagram are like, have you seen like 0.3% that you're going to make it to professionals, but 0.95% you need to be a well-rounded human. Yeah. And like some of the club sports creates a very narcissistic. Yeah. It's all about your stats, especially baseball, your stats, your hits, your lineup. I hate all this. Like, well, his stats aren't good. He's in 5th grade. Like, this is asinine. But now, if you keep him, I'm just being honest, Broxton's been towards the back of the lineup. I don't like him staying at the back of the lineup this long. It's not good for his psyche. Like, it's okay for you to suck or da-da, but he needs to be in another sport where he's the front of the lineup in some way, because not saying he has to work at that, of course, but it's just like if your kid's the bad kid at school, he'll start identifying as the bad kid at school. If every teacher every year has him as the bad kid at school, he's going to turn into the bad kid at school.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm not good at sports.
yes, and it's going to ruin it. And I'm not saying if you go off of batting averages, of course he has to wait till his batting average gets up. But they played like another team where they thought that it was a shoo-in, and they started Broxton at the front of the lineup to switch it up. His first hit was a triple. Like his best hit of the whole season.
Right.
But it's because you change him to the front of the lineup. It changed his mindset.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his whole game was ridiculous because, so then the next game right after, he moved him right back, same thing. And I'm like, it's just, and maybe the pitcher wasn't as good. I don't know. I just don't like who you are at one sport isn't who you are. Like
Yeah.
you are still great. And like at basketball, he's very aggressive. It's like a different version of him that I really like. It's not that he scores the most. It's just like I see a different side of him.
Like the confidence. Yeah.
And like,
Well, and also that might not be a right fit for a team. You know what I mean? When
I love the players if you're listening, but
yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
sometimes if you start
gotta make a
seeing-
change.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to make a change, and it's just good to have different coaches, too.
And I'm not a club hopper. It's not about that. I love our
No.
club. I love our parents. That's like sad for me, but I don't know. I want him to be whatever program it is. I want it to teach him hard work, discipline, integrity, work ethic. And not that they're not. I just think I want him to try different things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard though.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard. I feel like we're so busy, but I'm glad that Bear, I feel like he because when he's having a bad day at baseball, he can do good at football.
Yeah.
And when he's having a bad day at football, he can do great at baseball. It's like, I would not like to just do one.
Right.
It's too much.
And that's how it was forever when we had the multiple stores.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me as much.
It's better.
Now I'm like, and if it stays a Wednesday, Thursday, I don't want
Yeah.
him to miss every week either. That's not good either.
Yes, it's
That's
hard.
not teaching him the right thing.
Yeah.
You know?
The Wednesday, Thursday is horrible.
It is horrible.
Because everyone's either Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday,
Yeah.
Thursday. You can't even make
with
something
it.
else work.
Done with it, yeah. But I remember even when the kids would do tumbling as a kid, I didn't want them to be in a tumbling class where I went to a cheer gym once. I was going to actually get back to coaching. And there was no discipline in the class. And I was like, I'm not paying $5 for my kid to be at this thing.
Yeah.
Because wherever my kid is, I don't care where it is, I want him to be strict. I want him to expect a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of am, that's why Top Gun's been, this is like a promotion for Top Gun.
Yeah.
Coach Drew Malone I talk about him all the
It's
time.
the best.
It's my favorite person besides Teisha. I'm
I'm
kidding.
all.
Yeah. And Dana, but no, he's just a great coach. And like
In person.
Everything I'm about him in all things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm clearly about Kyle, like my husband, but like as a former coach, another coach, I'm for it. I like love everything he does. So I don't know. I just,
Yeah.
no matter where it is, I want him to be the school. I want to define the school with the highest standards where they're not going to let him rule the roast.
Yeah.
Whereas Teisha lets her kids rule the roast. Yeah, I don't know. So it's hard. They're raising kids hard. But then I'm like, crap. And then Kyle's like, crap, but if we don't go to Cooperstown with everyone, we'll be left out. Because we're thinking about just taking a season off. And he's like, but then we'll be left out and then he'll get behind. Then I'm like, it's true. You feel that way. But who cares?
It's so stupid, but it's hard to not get wrapped into it.
My nephew plays football at NAU and he played soccer till sophomore year. Competitive soccer. I find that so many times, especially boys, they end up really being into the sport they didn't do for years.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen it so many times. And, like, even one of our friends' son, he did football, competitive football forever, tried basketball, tried out for 7th grade basketball, and now that's like...
And he's really good.
Yeah, that's his sport now. So I just don't want to, like, go all in on one, and then... But it's stupid. I gave myself a headache with this talk. It's dumb. But I'm sure people go through this
Really, yeah. It's very relatable.
Yeah.
Well, I relate just by not having my kids in more earlier, like younger. Because I feel like they're already
Behind. That's how I was with CJ. Because he wasn't like showing an interest in when we kind of did the hopping.
See, and I think you did it right with CJ.
And, well, but he doesn't. He's like, feels like he's behind.
Yeah.
Like, to him.
Yeah.
Like, he's frustrated that he didn't get to play earlier.
Really,
and
that's
I'm like,
funny. See, and I think part of why he loves it so much is because he hasn't played it forever.
Yeah.
Like, I think he'll peak by senior year. I think you'll see a different version.
Yeah.
It's okay to be behind freshman year.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think it just,
those
for
guys
him,
are
though,
gonna
he's going, like, all these guys are so good, and he's feeling like late to the game, and he's like, I wish I would have got to play earlier.
He says that to you? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Where were you like, you were busy being a DJ, not a CJ?
Yeah, I mean,
Isn't
we
it
didn't
funny,
know. It's hard because we didn't know.
He wasn't into it. You didn't want to force him into it.
Yeah, but then we
you-
did.
do you-
And then it was like, great.
I know I was going to ask you, do you regret not forcing him sooner?
Yeah, 100%.
That's so interesting because he wanted to be a DJ. Tell these listeners
we did
why
tell
you
them.
didn't. I know, but everybody doesn't listen to every episode.
Well, again, we were hopping different things. Like he did soccer, then he did basketball. Like this was all rec, like through CCV. Then he did flag football through CCV, and he was just kind of like, he's very athletic, but he was never like obsessed.
He wasn't into sports. Be real.
No.
He was like, I don't want to do
like
sports.
Legos. He liked more like that.
Coding. She took him to the coding classes.
I was just trying to find whatever he was good at. Then he liked music, so, but then I felt
She
like
took him to guitar lessons.
he did piano for a while and guitar. And I feel like he was like going that way. And then I felt like just maybe the kids he was like hanging around at school, I wasn't like loving the vibe of, it's not about sports. It's about, like you said, what sports teaches. It teaches a lot of really good life lessons. And I felt like the kids he was like hanging out with, they weren't busy enough. And like when you're not busy, you're getting yourself nowadays, because there's so much accessible. Like it's not like we're on a farm where he can go outside. So I felt like the kids he was, like there was a lot of sitting around in front of electronics. There was a lot of like, I just think you learn mental toughness in sports. There wasn't a lot of mental toughness in the kids he was hanging out with. I just did not love the vibe. So I was like, oh no, you're doing a sport, pick a sport. So then he picked football and said he wanted to try tackle out of nowhere at the end of 7th grade. And I was like, okay. So we tried that and then he really liked it. But
I don't think he asked. I think you meant because you got in trouble.
asked. No, we said you're going to do something. And then he said, I want to do
that's the
tackle.
one
And
he
we were
picked.
like, tackle? Because like his personality, he's not, Bear saying he wants to do tackle is like, oh yeah, no kidding. He like tackles like the dog when he walks in the room. But CJ's not like super like aggressive physically. So we were like, tackle? We were like, you're gonna get hit, right? You know that, right? And he was like, yeah. And we're like, okay. So we tried it in that league. And then remember
did
Bear,
so good.
yeah, and he really loved it. He got like his very first game, his very first anything, he got a touchdown. We were like, oh. So
And he was like defensive player of the game or week.
So
like,
I feel like he definitely.
it was cool. He all of a sudden was like turning into this.
So then it totally changed. And then he started identifying as like a sports guy, you know? But it was crazy because like we didn't know. We were thinking we were helping him doing his other things. And like,
Well, you didn't want to push him there if that wasn't what he wanted.
It's such a fine line.
It's such a fine line, right? Like,
and had he not been hanging out with kids where I was like, this is not, like, we're looking at anime, like
weird anime, like dirty, naughty anime.
Like-
Not just that you care about anime. It was like getting weird.
it was getting weird. And I was like, these aren't the kids that you're going to be hanging out with. And I'm not judging. I mean, I am kind of, but I'm not. But I was like, we're not doing that. We're gonna,
I think that's anything. Even if they're watching TikToks with makeup, and then they want to talk about makeup all day, every day. When you're laying around, dicking around, that's what my mom would say.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get going. Whatever it is. If you want to do guitar, then be playing the guitar all day instead of
exactly
doing this.
I just
us with Hunter and boxing. Like we got him into boxing because
Yes.
he's not a sports guy.
exactly.
And I'm like, you have to do
Something.
And I just think like also what is not talked about because the world is so unhealthy is like the benefits of physical activity in a young mind and as an adult. Like these habits are formed now. So like I wanted him to learn like you're happier when you're active. You're physically healthier, but you're mentally healthier because you're like even now he'll be grouchy and him and Ben go to the gym and then he gets out of the gym and he's like talking to me and I was like, oh, this mopey teen that was earlier in the day. But that's normal. But it's important they learn that because...
Well, we do let them lead too much. I'm
like, you don't know what's good for you, but I do.
Yeah,
you
Maddie...
I've been there.
Yes.
Maddie had something she was supposed to be at, and we had a game. She stayed up late, and we were supposed to drop her off somewhere to a birthday party, and she was sick all week, so she didn't feel great. So that morning, she's like, Mom, I don't think I can go to the party. Like, I don't feel good. And we have to go to baseball. And she wasn't ready to get ready for the day at like 7 a.m. because it was an 8 o'clock game and then the party was 11. She's like, so I'm just not gonna go, I'm not feeling good. And it totally made sense to me. I'm like, she's been sick.
Yeah.
It was a few weeks ago. She was sick, but she missed 4 days of school. So it wasn't like, and it was Saturday. So she had missed Friday still.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, no problem. And then later she got in trouble for something. I'm like, I'm getting done, da-da-da. And she's like, and I just feel bad I missed that party. I should have made myself go.
Yeah.
Like she didn't feel good. Like,
Yeah.
she did want to go. She just woke up, but I was taking her lead because she said she was sick and she didn't feel good. but she had committed to the party, and like it's rude. You don't just do that the day of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then later she's like, I should have went. I should have just gotten ready. I think I woke up tired and didn't feel good and was like, I don't want to go, and now I regret not going, and I should have went. And I'm like, I was kind of mad at myself. I'm like, as a mom, I should have made her go. I knew she wanted to go. We told the girl she was going, but I thought she was just like sick. Yeah. So I was like, it's not, I hate when people send people sick to certain things. Yeah. Then everybody gets sick. It's like annoying. But sometimes I forget because I do let my kids make a lot of their own choices because I want them to learn. And maybe this did work out. She did learn. Yeah. By not going. Even though I was like, I should have made her go. The natural consequence. Then I'm really into that. Like, okay, don't do your homework. Get a bad grade. I'll kill you. You'll learn. Yeah. Like, don't go to the party. Don't be a good friend. You'll see this, but it's not always the easiest. Like sometimes she says, Mom, you could help me a little. And I'm like, I could help you a little. Yeah. But I also, like, if you needed help, we should have done that years ago. Because now you've been independent for so long. It's hard to, now it's time where you really got to do it on your own. Like, you're going to be in high school. So, and like, kids know how to manipulate things too. She might have known that saying that at that time would have made me feel bad. For sure. No, but we've done that. I made Ken go to tumbling when she's like not in the mood, but I'm like, no, you're going. And then she's like, oh, I'm so glad I went after. So it's like. It's hard. It is hard to know because she is tired and that's a real thing. But it's also important to know like, as an adult, sometimes I'm tired or I'm not feeling great and I have to go to work. It's like sometimes you got to learn to push through. Well, and you've learned that by not going. Yeah. And you've learned those consequences. Yeah. It's hard. But like she's my responsible one, so sometimes I always listen to her. Right. Not that they're all very responsible, but like you can trust. Yeah, so if she says no, I'm like, oh, something's wrong. Yeah. But these teenagers, like lately, she's a little different. A little just more like groggy. Yeah. Well, like I read like teenagers need like as much sleep as a newborn because your body's going through so many hormonal changes, but like that's also when they're not busy, but they really need their sleep. Maddie, we got home yesterday. We went to get her hair done because it's almost like promotion and all that. We're leaving. And so she missed some of school. We drove. It was like a long day. She got home and we got home at like 4:30, 5. She slept till 9 o'clock. Like, and the alarm went off because Kyle said it, and then Broxton went out. I think she would have slept through the night. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so, just from all the things, she's so tired. I think that's why she's grouchy. She's just grouchy. But Monica. Some is a teenager. And honestly, I was a grouchy teenager and no one cared. Yeah, and some of it's Snapchat. For sure. It's so aggravating. And Monica was texting me, like she heard us talking about it on the podcast. So she called me. She's like, I want to talk about Snapchat. Taylor wants it. And I want to like call her and be like, think before you snap. Like before you go there should be a warning. You can never go back. Remember your daughter that you love? She's gone. Like forget it. It's like it changes them so much. And it might sound stupid that I still allow it. My thought process right now is they have to learn to cope with social media. It's going to be a part of life. If the first bit they get of social media is in college, I think they're going to be out of the house. There's so much freedom then. So I want her to learn to cope and learn boundaries. But like we have been better about taking the phones, charging them out like you do at night because that thing buzzes all night. And whether we have things that her phone shuts off besides calling us, I still think there's ways around those things. So we've been charging it at night. We've been trying to like limit a little bit more, taking away more. But oh my God, I hate Snapchat. It's the worst decision I ever made as a parent, was allowing it. CJ took his permit test at home yesterday, and before you take it, you have to watch this video because they really want to hit home like the no texting and driving. Yeah. Did you watch the video? Yes. So this girl, it's like so sad. She's like disfigured now, and she's like, the mom was like, you know, as a mom, you think I was worried about the drugs, the alcohol. I was worried, and she wasn't doing any of that. So I thought I was like nailing it. She goes, I had no idea how obsessed with her phone she was. And she's like, I had no idea she needed it every minute of every day. And she was constantly looking at it. And she's like, and so when she started driving, I really didn't understand. And the girl like came on and she's like, I was obsessed. Like if I didn't have my phone, like if my phone died or I was separated from my phone, I would I would be freaking out. And anyways, she ended up texting and driving and spent she's like all disfigured now, and it was like a horrible thing. But it's crazy because like as a parent, exactly, like you're like worrying about like the big things, and it was. What do you think the way around it is though? I don't know. But I was like, oh my God, like the video is for CJ and I'm never texting and driving again. No, I know. My kids yell at me and it is a bad example. I'm like, I'm so worried about going to church and all this. But if I'm doing it while driving, they'll think it's okay. Yeah. Well, and I'm always like. They're like, Teisha always texts and drive.
No, but I'm not after that video.
No.
It was awful. Like I was sick. Oh, it was sick.
I don't know how to manage that though, because I don't know.
Hands free as much as possible. I mean,
How do we make him know to stop? The stupid Snapchat, their streaks. Stupid.
It's so dumb.
Anyways, let us know. How do you combat
Take it away? I don't know.
I know, but then it makes it forbidden. Like then you've taken it away for a few days. How'd that go? Or even
Ken acts way, way better when her phone's gone. Like, it's night and day. Like, she's, like, enjoyable. She talks to me. It's, like, a totally different person. But then I have to give it back because, like, she's going somewhere and I need to get a hold of her. It's just, like...
But Snapchat.
Yeah, but I feel like it's the phone in general. It's
I don't
all
think
of
so.
it.
I think once Snapchat comes, the streaks, even, like, in the
Yeah.
car, both of them now do the
Yeah.
phone, and they weren't like that before Snapchat.
Yeah.
They would talk to me in the car.
Yeah.
Because there's no one to text.
Well, because when you were away from your phone for 2 hours at practice, 50 people snapped you. And now you got to get back to everybody or else you're leaving them on red or whatever. It's like stupid.
I know. What do we do?
Rid of it?
I know, but I don't know if that's the answer.
I think so. But I
You're
don't
not
know
going to get rid of it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm
going
going to do it. But I think that's the answer.
minutes on it? Like,
I do.
Hunter's only allowed an hour a day,
Yeah, I have time limits on it.
Yeah.
but then he just requests more.
And I allow it.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
But at least I know.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know how long we're talking.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it helps me check in, like, oh,
He's been on the
10:30
phone.
in the morning and you're at
That is a
school.
good point. And I could say, okay, it's enough for
Yeah.
today. That's a good idea, Dana.
Yeah. That is a good idea. Like an hour is great. Because, like, it doesn't take long
You
to
guys
get
an
back to
hour?
everybody.
You don't know.
He's like,
During the day at school by 9 o'clock, she'll be out of that.
that's Hunter. He's like, the bus ride to school, I'm out of it.
Yeah, because I have 3 hours and she has to request more.
That's crazy.
Yeah, do it though. It'll show you how much they're on it. Because you'll see. Because we did an hour too and I got like 5 requests a day.
Yep.
My foot's falling asleep.
All right, well, that's it. So let us know about Snapchat,
Yeah.
what your thoughts are, if anyone's out there. Or Dana, again.
If anyone's out there. Can anybody hear me? You know?
Like in a cave, you know? Hello!
Yeah, that's how I feel like. Is anybody out there? Like I'm picturing Titanic at the end of that movie, you know?
Hello!
Can anybody hear me? You know?
She loves Titanic.
I saw that movie like 12 times in the theater.
big
It was so good. All right.
Bye.
If you're really struggling, please reach out to a qualified professional, because that's not us,
We're just here to share our journey.
and to make you laugh
And cry.
and pick your nose.
And touch your boobs.